I was a nurse making $90,000 a year and $200 left in my bank account after bills, and in 3 days, rent was due. If you have ever looked at your paycheck and thought, where did it all go? This video is for you because I am going to tell you the exact moment everything changed for me. The decision I made when I was almost out of money on a 6-figure salary, and what I bought that started building real wealth on a nurse income. Stay with me in this video. My name is Robie. I have 32 years of nursing experience in nursing leadership, management, adjunct professor, and a mentor to 800 nurses. So I came here in this country from the Philippines with very little, and I built a life here that I am proud of. But I want to tell you about a time I was not proud, a time I did not want to tell anyone about. In the beginning, I was earning $90,000 a year. I was working 12-hour shifts. I was coming home exhausted, and I was good at my job. And I had $200 left 3 days before rent. You want to know what that feels like? It feels like shame because you know better. You are educated. You are working hard. You are doing everything you were told to do. And the math still does not add up. Here is what was happening. And I want you to really hear this because I guarantee at least one of this is happening to you right now. I was sending money home to the Philippines every single month, not a little, consistently, because I had a family depending on me and I was not going to let them down. I had loan payments due from 2 countries. Yes, 2. I was covering expenses for my aging mother and help to family and relatives. I was paying for private college for my 2 kids, and I was doing all of this in one nurse's salary. I was not broke because I was irresponsible, and that is the part that nobody talks about. Nobody teaches nurses that. Nobody teaches immigrant nurses that. Let me tell you what I actually bought. So, what did I buy? I bought a financial education that nobody handed me in nursing school. I invested in understanding money, how it moves, how it compounds, and how to keep more of what I actually earn, how to make it work while I sleep. Because nobody really teaches nurses that. And then a few years later, me and my husband bought a rental property on a nurse's salary and with student loans still attached to my name. People told me I could not do it. My husband is a tax and mortgage expert. We look at the numbers together and we found a way. And this is the part most money videos skip. The property was not the first purchase. The mindset was. The day I sat down and I decided I was going to learn what I did not know. That was the day everything started to shift. Not immediately, not overnight, but that was the moment. Because until that point, I was doing what most nurses do. Earning money and letting it flow just as fast. Working more hours to earn more and still feeling behind. Feeling like no matter how hard I work, the money in my account never grew. Does that sound familiar? I thought so. Why nurses are broke on good salaries? If you're making good money and still feel broke, one of this is happening. Probably more than one. Let me give you 3 reasons why nurses earning 90K, 100,000, or even more than 6 figures still feel broke. And I want to tell you in the comments which one you recognize in yourself. You can love your family and still have a limit. Number 1, the lifestyle inflation trap. You get your first real nurse paycheck and it is the most money you have ever seen. So you upgrade, you get the apartment you always wanted, the car that finally feels right, the wardrobe that matches how hard you work. Then your expenses rise to meet your income. They stay there or even more than your income. On anything wild, just better versions of things I already had. Number 2, the guilt spending problem. This one is especially true for immigrant nurses. You came from somewhere, you have people who sacrificed for you, and when you start earning, feel like you owe them. Yes, sense of gratitude is important, but you give, and you give endlessly. You say yes even before you check your account. I am not telling you to stop giving. I am telling you that giving from an empty account helps no one for very long. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You have heard that many times. Now apply it to your bank account, not just your spirit. Number 3, no system, zero system. Most nurses I had worked with, and hundreds of them, manage their money by gut feeling. They check the balance before a big purchase. They hope they have enough at the end of the month. They do not have a budget. They do not have a savings target. They do not have an investment account or a retirement setup. They have a salary and that's it. That was me until it was not. 3 moves that changes everything. Practical. These are actionable, not inspiration, but kind instructions. Here are 3 moves I made that changed my financial life as a nurse. These are not complicated. None of them require a finance degree. All of them require a decision and discipline. Move number 1. I paid myself first before anyone else. Not what was left, not what I had if everything went perfectly that month. First, before the remittance, before sending money, before any subscriptions, before anything. I set automatic transfer even when it was $100 for the day after my paycheck hit. That money did not exist to me. It went to a separate account I did not look at casually. Over 18 months, that became my down payment foundation. Move 2. I got my taxes right every time. My husband is a tax expert, sat down with me and showed me the deductions I would be missing if I am not working with a tax expert. You might be missing your hard-earned money on the table. So the next time you file for your taxes, make sure you work with a tax expert and reviewed by someone who understands nurse income. It will pay for itself many times over. Move number 3. I stopped managing money by feeling and started managing it by system. I gave every dollar a name before the month started. Needs, savings, giving. Yes, still giving, but a fixed planned amount. Fun, definitely, but bounded. And when the giving category was used, I was done giving for that month. That boundary was the hardest I ever did financially. And it was the one that made everything else possible. You can love your family and relatives and still have a limit. That is not selfishness. That is sustainability. You became a nurse because you are a caregiver. You are wired to put others first. I know that about you because I am the same way. But I need to tell you something that took years for me to learn. You cannot build a legacy from a position of financial stress. You cannot mentor other nurses when you are burned out to cover your bills. You cannot care for your aging parents with freedom if you are one missed shift away from a shortfall. You cannot give back to your community or build something your children inherit from broke. I work 160 hours in 2 weeks before just to support everybody and to send remittance back home when family and relatives ask for it. 160 hours, not because I wanted to, because I had to. I have never built the financial cushion. None of this you learn from nursing schools. And no one taught you this as an immigrant nurse. You deserve better than that. And you can only build a financial cushion when you are a confident nurse. And if you're a new nurse, that's why I built the 90-day confidence system for new nurses. It is everything I wish someone had handed me in my first year of nursing. It's $47, less than a pair of scrubs, and honestly, something that saves you months of self-doubt and stress. It's a founder's price. I don't know how long I'll keep it there. It is the one I needed at 22 years old and nobody gave me. I'll link it in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.